Top of the morning to you. Happy Robbie Burns Day. This is Morning Live.
Thanks so much for joining us. Do that again, because I can't do it. I can't roll my R's.
Robbie Burns Day.
I can't even do roll.
Roll up the rim.
Yes.
Thanks, Shelley. All right. And you know, if it's not Morning Live, it's crap. Let's get Leslie Stewart in here.
Hi, Leslie Stewart. We had to have you working today on Robbie Burns Day.
I know. It worked out perfectly, didn't it? We're at the Scottish Rite here in Hamilton. I couldn't think of a better place to do this. We're here with Kevin Bagwell. Thank you so much for being with us here today.
I really appreciate it.
And celebrating such a great man. And we were all talking about, there's so many facets to this man, Robbie Burns. And, you know, we should talk a little bit about him. And we talk about the fact that he's not wearing a kilt, because at the time they weren't allowed to wear kilts in Scotland.
That's right. It was banned by the royalty at that time, and he would not have been wearing a tartan at all, because it would have been seen as a part of a Scottish culture or Scottish pride, and that was not really allowed at that time. But 253 years later, we are wearing tartans today, and we're wearing our kilts in celebration of this Bard of Scotland. And so we're very pleased to be here and to be celebrating this, and we're so glad you here and your viewers are here to join us in this celebration.
Thank you, and it's so nice, you know, so nice to celebrate this, and that's the great thing. I mean, obviously the Scottish community comes together every time every year this time, but you know, other people that aren't even Scottish love to get together, right? And you know, the big question is always about the haggis. We're going to do an address to the haggis with a lovely gentleman later on, which is very cool to see if you haven't seen this before.
Absolutely.
Which is really fun that you guys brought haggis for us this morning. But your supper is actually going in its 90th year this year.
That's right, the 90th anniversary this year, and so it's been held every year since 1922, and we're glad to be able to have it in a celebration tonight with a very large crowd here at the Scottish Rite, and we're looking forward to it, both with the music, we have our wonderful speaker, and a celebration of, again, the beauty and the poetry of Robbie Burns.
And that's the thing, really, you know, he was such a beautiful poet, and we were talking about, you know, from, you hear about the romantic side of him, but there was another side of him too.
Well, the polemics and the political side, I think we're always aimed, though, at Scottish pride. I don't think he would ever incite revolution. I don't think he would ever have countenanced that, but certainly he was very much in favor of the Scottish pride, the Scottish culture, and ensuring that the beauty of that is brought out.
Yeah, and there is a lot of Scottish pride. We have a lot of Scottish pride here this morning. We also have the Rogues. Well, part of them anyway here. Fired up, guys. We're going off to break here on Morning Live. You cannot celebrate the life of a Scottish national poet without having some dancing, some haggis, and yes, the Rogues will be back with more Morning Live here at the Scottish Rite in Hamilton.
All right, and we're going back to the Scottish Rite in Hamilton, a beautiful, beautiful building.
Yeah, big shout out to Deborah Chapman, too. She was writing in, Leslie, which one's Leslie's brother? I said if he doesn't move.
I said the tall one.
Yeah, it's a tall one, or if he doesn't move, the one in the middle. With the Elvis sideburns. That could be a new genre, actually, Celtic Elvis.
Celtic Elvis, that's my brother.
Maybe we start that band.
I'm sure there's already one.
Yeah, there is. Wave, Nelson. We're trying to point out you're my brother. That's my brother. Yes, yes. My brother says hi. Yeah, so we are at the Scottish Rite. Oh boy, now we've turned on the ham at this point. We're going to come back to the Rogues in just a moment, but we are at the Scottish Rite. We're talking about their great supper tonight, 90th year. We're back with Kevin, and of course, the big, you know, it's the big supper. We're going to talk, you know, of course, the haggis is always the feature. He's the star of the show.
That's right, absolutely, and we have a raw haggis here. It's uncooked.
Yes.
And a little while later, you'll be seeing the cooked version. And tonight, Shane Stanley here has the honor of bringing in the haggis. So it'll be piped in, and it's brought into great ceremony.
Yes.
And that's the beginning of the Burns supper. And then there's a very specific order we follow year after year. It's kind of a tradition there. So we've been doing it for 90 years.
That's the thing, right? So I mean, people really look forward to this dinner. You sell
Absolutely.
tickets way in advance. Tell me a little bit how the whole night plays out.
Yeah, so it always begins with the bringing in of the haggis, some traditional toasts, a traditional grace that probably Burns himself either wrote or adapted. So it's very traditional and very expected. And then we would have a traditional meal of including the haggis, meat pies, tatties, and neeps, which are potatoes and turnip. And we do have vegetarian option though, if people really do want that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. And well, it's more of a demand these days.
I guess so. I guess so.
And then we're having a speaker tonight. And our speaker tonight, we've had people like Ed Broadbent, Ben Wicks, John Diefenbaker in the past, the mayors of Hamilton, the Vic Copps, for example, John Tory most recently. But tonight we're having the chaplain of the Royal Canadian Highland Fusiliers of Canada, and Reverend Captain Neil Thompson. And Neil will be talking about how he sees Burns' personality and writings and history as being really the ideal soldier, although we probably would say Burns was a pacifist. But, but I mean, the qualities are there of patriotism and being loyal to one's self and country.
And that's the great thing. So we're celebrating, you know, the life of Robbie Burns, and we do it in such a fun way. With again, it's just it's song and dance. And,
absolutely, yeah. And there'll be a lot of pipe music and a lot of his songs, his love songs will be rendered tonight by a group that we've hired to bring in to do just that, so that we can appreciate not only what he meant, but what he still means in terms of his music and poetry for us today.
Yeah, you guys do it well. You do it up right, don't you?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to have to break a little bit more music from the Rogues. Good morning. We're having fun here at the Scottish Rite this morning, and of course it's the big Robbie Burns Supper coming up, the 90th Robbie Burns Supper tonight. We thought we'd bring in some dance. We have Highland dancers coming later, and we have these guys performing this morning. This is the Rogues. Yes, this is my brother. You look like twins? He's way older, way older. Hit it, guys.